everyone. Welcome to this Something Bad Tuesday. We're on number 2 now, and I thought it would be interesting to discuss a topic that's somewhat related to entertainment, but yet it's a little bit more broader, and I think something that a lot of people, in particular within our Western culture, have been exposed to, and those are celebrity magazines. Yes, I'm talking about the People's magazines and all those other magazines that try to jam-pack celebrities and have various pictures with celebrities and make commentary in regards to the celebrities. And I just think that these magazines are bad. And this is just coming from my personal opinion. The reason why I feel like they are classified as bad is because I think that they really don't offer much to the discussion, I think, when it comes to people, to real issues that are going on within our culture. They're just there to, exploit people's lives. And I guess you could put TMZ, in this category too, of how they really try to up the ante of what they can find in regards to these celebrities and try to, get the story or whatever juicy gossip there is. And that just bothers me. It bothers me for several reasons, and I'll kind of go down the list here of the reasons why I think ultimately celebrity magazines or in particular the focus on celebrities and their lives outside of their acting, singing, talent careers, I think is completely unnecessary. The info that pretty much gets described in these magazines and gets described in these kinds of other outlets like TMZ, like celebrity news. I guess you could, if I were to put this in a more general concept, I guess I would say instead of just magazines in particular, it's just celebrity news in general, whether it be magazines, television shows, or things like that. Anything that really has to do with celebrities seems to be so enforced upon in our culture and in our entertainment, in our media. And I just find the information completely unnecessary. Like, a lot of the information does not hold water. And why doesn't it hold water? Because it's just about what these people are doing. And how some people are, how these people are making sort of a fool of themselves. Oh, look at how great this person's life is. Oh, look at how terrible this person's life is. It's really trying to shove in and exploit people. And I really do have a problem with that, especially when it's not something that we really need to know about. Like, we don't need to know about Kim Kardashian's wedding. We don't. Like, society doesn't need to know that. The only people that need to know that is Kim Kardashian and her family and friends. Those are the only people that need to know about this stuff. Like, nobody cares. If they want to mention it in a simple soundbite like, oh yeah, by the way, Kim Kardashian's getting married, fine. But, to make such a big exploitation of this person's wedding or this person's divorce or this person's, it's just unbelievable. And I know that there might be some celebrities out there that endorse this kind of behavior because they feel like it gets them more exposure, gets them more attention, and they make more money. Hence, you have people like Miley Cyrus who go and make a big scene. And why? It's all for money. And I think that's really the other big issue that I have for this. It's information designed to make money, and it's not designed to be informative or to help people understand more of what's going on in the world. It's just intended to distract people. It's to shove whatever they can into the media of stuff that really doesn't matter. And then they'll ignore very important, substantial stories over all of this stuff that really doesn't matter. And it's just so insignificant, the information, like just oh, look at what so-and-so did. Oh, look at so-and-so. So-and-so is wearing so-and-so. And you should buy this product and blah, 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 because so-and-so is wearing so-and-so. And I'm not against the idea of celebrities, like, endorsing a product or, you know, being in maybe, like, advertisements or things like that. But when they have, like, a whole, like, sort of, like, it's very stalkerish behavior, too. Like, when you see, like, them taking pictures of a so-and-so person, and they're literally just walking, you know, and minding their own business, you know, and just taking tons of pictures of them and putting, like, a whole page on this one person and showing them the various outfits that they're wearing. Like, it's not needed. Like, it's, you know, you're just let these people go about their lives, and if they want to endorse, you know, whatever stuff they're wearing, they'll endorse it. Like, it's just so ridiculous. I just get so frustrated. And if you think that they like the products they were wearing, you know, they would wear them maybe in movies or things like that, you know. I don't think, like, stealth marketing or any of that kind of advertising, or just advertising in general with celebrities, is necessarily bad. I mean, I think it's a type of business, but when you're just in the business of just showcasing these people's lives, it's all just insignificant, unimportant information. But I understand if maybe somebody dies, or if you do a news story on that, but it's not that they sometimes do celebrity stories too. It's the fact that they drag out some of these stories. Like, they'll constantly just drag them until there is no point in talking about the story anymore. Like, I remember they dragged Justin Bieber's story, like, completely over the walls, and it's just so bothersome. It's just so bothersome to walk around, even in the grocery stores, and seeing all of these magazines and literally going, why would people buy this? Like, what is the point? So, yeah, I think that there is this sense of complete ridiculousness and complete unnecessity for these magazines, for this news to come up, unless if they just do it in a little snippet and say, oh, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. But then sometimes they just do a whole story on it, and then they'll drag it on for days. And I think a lot of the times the media does it for distraction. They want to distract people from real important issues, and they just want to bring up these celebrity topics, and they really don't hold any weight or water, and there's really not a story there. And I just don't get it. I just don't understand, like, why we're holding these celebrities to a higher standard, and giving them not only their showcasing in their films, in their concerts, in their music videos, in whatever, but we're also endorsing them through news. Like, they're part of the news now because they're celebrities, and they're part of important information that we need to know about. No. If you want to know celebrity news, just follow their Twitters. You know, if you are obsessed with celebrities, just go on their Twitters. Like, you don't need to be informed on the news or through magazines or anything about this information. It's completely worthless. Like, I just don't understand. And in doing so, we do make some people even more famous by, you know, having them showcase themselves even more, and, you know, just have them constantly be in that environment. And I understand it is money making. It is supposed to appease, I guess, the masses. But I really don't see the point in having it be exposed to the level that we have it today. Like, it's just unbelievable just how many magazines are spread out everywhere in regards to what these people do for a living, or what they're doing with their time and resources. Like, why do you need to know this information? Like, this information doesn't hold any weight. It doesn't provide you with any insight, even to the person, because, again, everything is supposed to be sort of exploitation. It doesn't really provide you with information that's of substance. And I think that's really what bothers me about celebrity news, celebrity magazines, is that it serves as a distraction, and it doesn't try to bring insight into our culture. And instead of bringing insight, it brings in just this useless information out into the forefront. And I will admit, though, that a large demographic of these magazines are targeted towards, again, the female gender, sort of similar to when I was talking about makeup and how that's generated more towards the female gender. Again, there are male magazines, but I don't think really male magazines like to exploit celebrities all that much. Like, I'll see like a Men's Health, but I really don't see any other magazine where where really men are invested in whatever's going on with the celebrity. But for some reason, a lot of females seem to like this kind of stuff. And I'll see it at my friends' houses sometimes, and I'll go, what is this information? Like why are you reading this? What's the point? You know, and just having like this whole stack of them, and, you know, getting them at the grocery store. Like, I don't understand the mass appeal for this stuff. I think there should be a way more variety when it comes to going to a grocery store when it comes to magazines. I would probably pick up a magazine once in a while if they weren't all celebrity magazines. And maybe sometimes they'll have like maybe one cooking one, but I mean, I could look up cooking on my own. Like, what about politics? What about, you know, something like that? There seems like that's very limited, and like world news, very limited as to what's going on that has really like that has a lot of substance to offer, seems to be not offered, and instead we're given like this complete overexposure of these people and their lives. And I mean, again, TMZ, all these other entertainment tonight, you know, all about trying to talk about celebrities. I don't understand what the point is of addressing their lives and making a big deal. I mean, I think we should treat people as people and not as like a means to an end. And these people are sort of a means to an end when it comes to how they present themselves, and you know, it's really all for the money. It's all for that dough. And I understand that making dough is important with any industry and with any profession, but what I'm saying is that all of these magazines, all of this overexposure that they get is already enough. Like, we don't need these magazines to tell us about their lives. Like, there's just no point. I don't see why we need to talk about them. I know they're supposed to sort of reflect a little bit of our culture, but I mean, you can already see that with music. You can see that with the mediums that they're already in. You know, like you could see like through television, through movies, you can see that all presented on the screen. You don't need a celebrity magazine or celebrity news to know this kind of information, because pretty much at least a lot of actors, at least that that I'm familiar with, and singers that I come across, their idea is to present a persona and get attention. And I really feel that they already get their attention, and they don't need any more attention beyond their profession and beyond what they do with their lives. Like, and I think it should be mitigated, to be honest. It would be nice, but I really doubt it, because as long as people will buy the magazines, they will stay in business. As long as people watch these entertainment news shows like TMZ, they'll watch them. And I just don't see the point of sitting myself down and knowing the kinds of information that they give out and try to exploit. Like, I really just don't understand, like, the sense of already, you know, bringing these celebrities out from within. Like, they have their life on whatever they do in their profession. Just leave it at that. We don't need any of this. I just feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's unnecessary, and that already these celebrities are already getting a ton of exposure already. You know, a lot of famous people, they have already a huge fan base, a following on social media. They don't need any of this, of these magazines. They don't need any of this news. It's just pointless. And the media is going to probably twist it, you know, either way that they want to with celebrity news, and maybe not read the full context into it. And I think that clearly has happened throughout celebrity news history. So, again, I just think it's completely unnecessary, and I just don't see the point in overexposing these people's lives already to the point that we do. You know, I just think it's unbelievable. And I don't blame a lot of them for escaping Hollywood, and I think there's a part of them that really doesn't like it, but then yet they still stay in that environment. I mean, it might be because they have work there and they can't just, you know, just go off somewhere else and leave. But again, it's sort of too, you know, that some people and some celebrities might be caught up in this whole charade of the paparazzi and everything. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I blame the people who are famous, who are celebrities. I don't think it's really their fault. But again, I do think that some famous people like that exposure. They like that attention because they know they're going to get more money and more profits out of it. But there's also maybe some celebrities who do really feel really uncomfortable and who do feel really intimidated. And they do seem in a lot of the pictures to even try to not really fully show themselves. And again, it's sort of, I guess, a two-way street, you could say. You have some famous people who really don't want to be in the spotlight but have to sort of be there because it's Hollywood and you chose this career. And there's the other celebrities who like the exposure, like the attention, because they know they're ultimately going to get more exposure, more money, and more people following them, more people looking into what they offer as performers and entertainers. So, really, ultimately, though, I think that's really all I can say about this topic. I think it's just gotten so off the rails, though, over the years. Like, I've seen so much devotion to this topic that I don't, even in the mainstream news, it's going in, and, you know, it's like CNN does have to talk about this, and you're like, no, you don't. You don't. This is not national or international news. This is like just celebrity news. Like, it's a totally different category. Like, it doesn't even belong here. It's just unbelievable. The overexposure and the amount of attention that we give to something that really doesn't, I think, hold a lot of weight or value. But again, if you enjoy celebrity news, if you enjoy celebrity magazines, if you enjoy looking into these people's lives and you find that there's some value there and there's some emphasis again on our culture, but again, I would say that, you know, that culture is already exposed through their movies and through their films and through their songs, and we don't need celebrity magazines to enforce that, you know. So again, that would be sort of my counter argument, but I do understand the appeal for some people to, you know, absorb themselves in somebody else's life, and if it's somebody that happens to be famous, you know, they sort of maybe see them as a role model, and, you know, they have that sort of growing attachment to somebody, and I understand I can understand why people would be invested into it, but I really think that it's to the point where it's kind of like you go, why would you be invested in this? It's what's it really telling you about yourself? Like, you don't need to compare yourself to somebody else anyway. I mean, to me, yes, there can be role models within your life, but you don't need to emulate your role model, and you just need to be your own person. And like, I just don't see the whole point in trying to follow someone else's life and understand their life when, you know, it's more important to understand the people that you're actually surrounded by's lives and maybe understand, a little bit about the world and as to what's going on in the world. And these celebrities, they don't really hold much weight when it comes to a story, because the story is just pretty much the same thing. It's over and over again the same cycle of news that's completely useless and should be even I feel some of the stuff that they expose is just really a private matter, and people shouldn't go around exploiting these people's lives to this extent. But again, there are some celebrities who do want the attention, who do want the recognition, and do want to make that dough. But ultimately, I think that's really all I can say about the topic. But again, I do understand if there's some people out there who do enjoy these kinds of this kind of news. It's just not for me, and the reasons I explained really emphasize to me why I feel it is bad. But if you enjoy it, go ahead, keep buying the magazines, keep watching their news, keep looking into what's going on with celebrities. But to be honest, I'd rather actually read a book. I'd rather actually go out and watch a movie that maybe some of these celebrities are in, rather than, read about what's going on in their personal lives. I mean, or what they're wearing. I don't really care. But ultimately, though, I think, that's all I can say. I'd be more than happy to hear anybody's opinion on the subject. Any questions, comments, concerns, more than happy to answer them. But until next time, everybody.